Hello, my name is Sanchez. I'm a landlord attorney in San Francisco. Today I'd like to talk to you about gaining access to a rental unit. One of the most frustrating things a landlord can face is trying to get access to a rental unit. I'd like to take a minute to go over the law with you so that you can be better educated for how to gain access to your rental unit. First, it's important to always check the lease. Sometimes your lease will have special provisions or notice periods that you need to comply with. But let's assume you have a pretty typical lease and that really what we're looking at is state law. The state law that applies is California Civil Code 1954. This law provides 3 ways for a landlord to gain access to a unit. The first way to gain access is in case of an emergency. Hopefully this is something that you never have to use, but in case of an emergency, you do not have to give notice. You can enter a rental unit. The second way to gain access to a unit is by the tenant giving you permission to enter while they're actually present. This can be a deceptively complex way to gain access. First, the tenant has to actually give you permission to enter, and they have to be present. A text message saying that you can come in or an email is not sufficient. Also, anyone else, like a friend or a roommate, allowing you access does not work. It has to be the actual tenant. Another problem with using this way to gain access is I've had a situation where for years the tenant would allow the landlord in to make necessary repairs, but then when the relationship sours, the tenant would claim that the landlord would simply bully their way into the unit. Not a great situation to be in for a landlord. The final way to gain access is my preferred method. This is pursuant to a written notice to enter. A lot of landlords don't realize that they do not have to negotiate with their tenant for access. You issue a written notice to enter and you go into the unit. You're allowed to go in Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. The notice needs to be in writing and it needs to be served. If you're going to serve it by mail, you got to send it 6 days in advance of the entry. If you're going to personally serve it or post it on the door, it needs to be done no less than 24 hours before the entry. The requirements for the contents of the notice are fairly specific. Also, the service requirements are exacting. Because of these complexities, it is absolutely critical that you retain experienced counsel to help guide you through the process. I always offer a no-cost telephone consult so we can go over whatever problem you're having and see if we can be of service. Call me today so that I can be of service.